And on this video, I'm going to show you how the parking mode cable works, and I'm also going to show you an issue that happens when you try to use an aftermarket charger or an aftermarket hardwire kit. Garmin has locked us out of using anything but an original charger, which is going to be the only one that can enable parking mode or surveillance mode on a Garmin dashcam. I'm also going to show you an Easter egg that I found inside of this kit. Welcome back. I am Alex the Car Guy, and I review cool car gadgets and other accessories like dashcams for your vehicle. So if those are the kind of videos you like, make sure you subscribe by hitting the button down below to see more videos like this. And I also like to remind you that I have placed the links in the description down below to both the Garmin dashcam and to the Hardwire kit in case you want to look at it further or acquire one for yourself. And here's what the Garmin Hardwire kit looks like. On one end of the kit, we have the cable that is going to go to our dashcam with a micro USB connector. On the other end, we have 3 wires that are going to go to the fuse box of our vehicle. And let me show you the different colors and what they do. And the first wire is going to be this black one, which has been labeled GND, which means ground. And this is going to go to a metallic portion of my vehicle. I typically like to find a bolt that I can remove and then slide this under and then lock down the bolt, providing me with a solid ground connection. Then I only have to worry about the remaining 2 wires. One of them is red and has been labeled ACC. The ACC wire is going to be connected to a source of power that only has power when the car is in the accessory position or in the full on position. When the car's key is turned off, there will not be power to this wire. The next wire is going to be the yellow wire, which has been labeled BAT. Now this wire is going to be connected to a source of power that has power all the time, regardless of where the key is positioned. Even if the car is off, there's always going to be power going to the yellow wire. But you may be wondering, how are these wires connected to the fuse box of our vehicle? Because our fuse box takes fuses, it doesn't take wires. And this is what most typical hardwire kits will include. They're called fuse taps, and the fuse taps allow me to connect the kit directly to the fuse box of my vehicle. Now, because Garmin did not include any accessories, I have to order those fuse taps separately. And I'll put a link in the description to a nice fuse tap kit. For example, here you have the Robi Ultimate Hardwire kit, and those guys included every single fuse tap that we would need, included a probe, they include installation tools, a ton of stuff, but on the Garmin, we don't get any of that. And because the primary function of a hardwire kit is to supply power to the dashcam when the car is off, that means that we are pulling power from our battery, and eventually the battery is gonna get low. And at some point, we want this thing to turn off completely so the battery does not get too low to the point that we are getting stranded. And most hardwire kits will tell us on here at what point they turn off. In fact, some advanced hardwire kits like the Robi one even give us the ability to select how low we want the battery to get before the kit turns off. However, the Garmin one does not give us the ability to select and does not even tell us when that cutoff happened. But I found an interesting egg. I actually opened up this bad boy, and if I crack this guy open, let me show you what I found. And here's what I found. And first off, I do not recommend that you open your Garmin hardwire kit because you'll probably void the warranty and it could potentially get damaged in the process. But as you can see, there is a little block right here. We call that a jumper, and this can be pulled off and inserted into any of these locations. Now, the locations actually have numbers that correspond to a voltage. A battery has 12 volts. And as you can see, the jumper has been placed on 11.7. So this looks like this is the point when the kit is going to turn off when the voltage gets to 11.7. Now, if I wanted to be more conservative, I could potentially pull this off and put it on the 12 volt. But also, let's look at the second part. 24 volts. Certain cars have a 24 volt system, and as you can see, there is a selection for us to select from 24 volts. But I really don't think Garmin wanted us to change any of the settings just because how the kit is made is closed with screws. There is no mention of this jumper in the instruction manual. It seems like this was something that was left in there in case they wanted to change it on their own at Garmin's end. But on to the fun stuff. Why can't we use aftermarket chargers or an aftermarket hardwire kit? Well, this is what happens when we connect an aftermarket device. You get an error message. The attached power cable cannot charge this device. use the original cable that was provided. And if this was an aftermarket hardwire kit, you can see that it does not enable the parking mode or surveillance mode on Garmin dash cams. It requires the original Garmin hardwire kit for us to be able to find and select that setting. And my original suspicion was that Garmin had put something in here that would communicate via the cable to the dash cam to let it know that this is an original Garmin accessory. However, the USB cable interface uses 5 positions, so a total of 5 wires. However, as you can see, the kit is only using 3 wires, which is the normal ones we see on a dash cam, and all 3 of them are related to power. None of them are related to communication, so this is not communicating anything via the cable to the dash cam. So the only other place where there could be something to let the camera know that this is a Garmin cable would be inside of this mold right here, and there actually is. The pinout for the micro USB cable contains 5 positions, as I said earlier, but 2 of those positions are available, are free. So in those 2 positions, Garmin has placed a component which we call a resistor, and when this is connected to a dash cam, the dash cam reads that component and says, oh yeah, this is a Garmin original cable. However, in an aftermarket cable, there is no component in here, no resistor, so when we connect this to the dash cam, even though it's providing the right amount of power, the dash cam knows, no, that is an aftermarket cable, not an original. But you may be wondering, can I add the same component to my aftermarket cable and make my aftermarket cable work? And the answer is yes, it technically could be done, but the amount of work required to do that, it will probably not make sense, and we better just to buy this kit. As we can see on this end, because there are only 3 wires, the 2 positions that have that special component are not accessible via these 3 wires. The only place to put that component would be internally in here. So that means I will have to take my aftermarket cable and I will have to crack it open and then place the component inside of those 2 positions. Now that component is extremely small, and getting that resistor, soldering it to those 2 positions is not gonna be easy, and I don't think it's worth it. I think at this point we are stuck with Garmin's hardwire kits and Garmin's charging cables. However, at least they have lowered the price. When I bought this thing, it was close to $50-$60. At least it's half the price now, so that's a positive. And if you guys have any other questions regarding the Garmin hardwire kit, please put that in the comments down below. Remember, I place a link to the kit also down there in case you want to look at it further or acquire one for yourself. And stay tuned as I have a lot more dashcam reviews coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.